Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Glossy Philosophy. My name is Jansen Bidman and today we are playing with a few new products, and one of them is this amazing MAC palette that just came out recently, and we are just going to have some fun with makeup, so stay tuned. I've already washed my face and done my skincare and done a few eye masks for a little extra depuffing from Pixie. So now let's get into the tutorial. We are going to start by neutralizing the face with NARS Smudge Proof Tinted Eyeshadow Base, and just on our ring finger, taking that from the lash line all the way up to the brow, but not into the actual brow hair. And just making sure that's nice and smooth. I find if I put too much on, then it interferes with the longevity of the shadows. So you don't want to grab too much product, otherwise it will interfere with the end look. So even taking another finger and just making sure that there's no extra bumps and lumps. Then going in with the corrector, I'm using a new color from Bobbi Brown. It is the light to medium bisque. I've found that as I've been kind of cleaning up my diet, eating more fruits and veggies, that the darkness of my under eye circle has gone down tremendously. And I don't feel like I really need that peachier bisque anymore. So I'm trying out this new shade. It has a little bit more of a pink tint to it, as you can see. So I think it's working pretty well, especially, again, because, you know, it's what I've been saying since the very beginning. Like, what you put in your body really matters. If you feel like you have genetically dark circles under your eyes, that can be a whole other situation, but if you feel like you look better some days and not as good some days, it could be what you're consuming and putting into your body. I am not a doctor, but I'm just sharing what I've been doing, which has been much more heavy on the fruits and veggies rather than like processed foods as much. Okay, so now that we've neutralized the face, we are going in with Victoria Beckham's Kajal eyeliner in black, and we are just amping up that lash line. Right into the roots, little dashes, and it just makes a little bit of a difference, especially if you're not going to go in with a liner or you feel like your lashes are a little bit sparse. Doing something like this can really fill in a lot of the gaps that are in between your lashes. I feel as I'm getting older, which is totally normal, my eyelashes are getting sparser and sparser, and I need something in that waterline and lash line to help amp up that area. Otherwise, it just feels too scattered for me, for my liking. Okay, we're not doing anything crazy with the eyes, but we are going to go in with the eyeshadows. And I have a new palette. It's been so long since I've had a new palette, and I'm really excited about this one. This is the Connect in Color eyeshadow palette from MAC. It is the neutral one, and look at these gorgeous, gorgeous colors. It is the perfect neutral palette. There are shimmers, there are mattes, and I'm going to do a short on this, but just like really quickly, if you buy a big palette like this, they've put a lot of thought into the placement of the shadows. So if you think of it as these colors all go together and then these 6 colors all go together, so you can mix and match within those realms for a really beautiful eye that you don't have to think about. You have your matte shades over here, your shimmers and shines over here, same thing, shimmers and shines, and then mattes over here. So we are going to be playing with one of those looks, and I'm wearing an interesting color. It's kind of like this camo green. It definitely has yellow in there, but it's also kind of gray, so it's like a yellow, gray, green. So what color are we going to go with? We can go with either. We can definitely go a little bit warmer if we want to embrace the end of summer, which is I think what we're going to do, but we can also absolutely go in with the cooler colors as well and play into that gray. But because it is the summer, we are just going to go for it, and we are going to go in with some warmer colors. So we're going to start with the 201. I honestly don't know what these shades are called because all the little shade colors are on the back. So I'm just going to be pointing a lot today. We're going to start with this one as our base, and then I'm feeling like I want a little shimmer in my life, so we're going to go with this guy, and then we'll see which one we want to amp up or if we want to add even more shimmer. So starting off with our 201 into the lightest matte shade, just kind of saturating that and putting down our base color with the 201. Now you guys know that I really love MAC shadows, and even though there's some new colors on here, they work beautifully. Like, I just think MAC has some of the best eyeshadows around. Just so much pigment. You don't have to really work that hard to get the product on the skin, and it lasts forever. It lasts all day. You can use these shadows wet and dry, which is really, really nice. You can use with fingers, you can use with brushes. They've reformulated their shadows and they've done a bang up job. So now we're going to go in with the 203 into that shimmer shade, and I'm going to put that all over my lid. I just got this the other day, so we are kind of playing with it together. This is a really beautiful kind of satin pinky color, which I think is very relevant, especially right now with all the latte and chocolate and all the coffee looks that are trending. We'll kind of darken it up just a little bit. I'm actually going out for coffee today, so how fun. All right, I'm going to grab the darker matte shade with my 217 and just start to build up that outer part so I have a little bit more of a soft, kind of a soft smoke, and then bringing that up on above the crease. Again, whenever we're working with darker shadows, we want to make sure that we are relaxing our skin as much as possible. Otherwise, it will, if we have a surprise face, all of our shadow is going to go right into the crease. So just nice and relaxed, but knowing that we can always go back in, because again, this is MAC, so there's not going to be any fallout. Very rarely do I ever get fallout with MAC, which is so great. And you can just see that shadow pigment. It's just so great. So beautiful. I'm going to take a clean brush, Sony Kashuk, and just kind of soften those edges. I don't have anything on my brush, but I just want it to be a little bit softer. This is a tapered brush, so I'm kind of using the sides. I'm not using the point because I'm not trying to get this into the crease. I'm just trying to diffuse a little bit. All right, we're going to leave that alone for right now and just do the rest of our face and come back if we need to, including the liner, because I want to see how everything's playing with each other. So now we're going to go in with Lisa Eldridge's foundation, about 1.5 pumps. You know, when I get a new foundation, sometimes I go a little bit heavier because I'm just curious how it wears throughout the day. This is the makeup, by the way, that was used in the Barbie movie. If you guys are followers of Lisa Eldridge, and you should be if you love makeup, she spoke about that in one of her videos. How the makeup artist for the movie called her and asked her to send over product. They did, and then they ended up using, I think it was all Lisa Eldridge makeup in the movie, which is pretty spectacular. It's always nice to see people that you like succeed. So we're just kind of bouncing our brush and softly blending with the 55. I find that with this foundation, I'm not crazy about it with a thicker brush. I like to be able to bounce my brush and just make it a little bit more airbrushed. And just making sure that everything is nice and blended. So I do have quite a bit extra on my hand, but this color matches me so well that I don't feel like I need to bring it down onto the neck. Okay, we are going to go in with our concealer from Giorgio Armani in 4.5. That has not changed. This is still my favorite concealer, although to be fair, since I've started it, I haven't used any of the other brands, so I'm not really sure. Going in with the 57. So if you are clicking on the links below and you are shopping for the 55 and the 57, they are now synthetic, they are not natural hair, and if you're wondering why mine look a little bit different, it's because I got mine a very long time ago when I worked for Sephora, and they no longer sell the natural hair brushes anymore. So I'm just going to take whatever I have left and I'm just going to bring it down my nose. Ever since that Victoria Beckham thing that I did a while ago, I've just been kind of playing around with my nose a little bit. So now we're going to go in with the 108, which I realize is the precision powder brush, but I just want to pick up any excess. I do feel like the 57 sometimes leaves extra product on the skin, and I don't want that. I want the focus to be on the eyes. I don't need my skin to be like foundation and concealer. Alright, so I'm just going to knock that off on the back of my hand, any excess. I'm going to go in with a new powder, Hourglass and Diffused Light, and we're just going to set through the center of the face. This is a really, really beautiful, soft powder. I remember when it came out at Sephora and we all died, and it was amazing. I think this is a great powder the older you get because it's just so soft. It's kind of velvety on the skin. It mattes. It doesn't quite mattify, so if you have super oily skin, it might not be a great one for you. But if you are on the drier side and you still want to set, I think Hourglass is a great place to go. Or if you have wrinkles, fine lines, it doesn't go into those. It sits on top. All right, doing our blush with our blush and powder brush, Sweet Enough. Just popping that on the apples of our cheeks. And because we're using a big brush, we can just kind of brush that away. This is synthetic though, however. We're going to skip bronzer today because I want the focus again to be on the eyes and not on like a bronzy goddess skin. So now we're going to go back to the eyes, and before we finish those up, we are going to do our brows because we want to make sure that everything makes sense. Using the Anastasia brow definer in Ash Brown, and I'm just filling in any gaps that I have. Same thing on the other side, going in the same direction as the hairs are naturally growing. And then just drawing in a little bit on this side because if you've been following me for a while, you know that I accidentally shaved it off a long, long time ago and it has never grown back. So now we're going to go in with our STILA Stay All Day. Why am I going in with black when I'm going out for coffee in the middle of the day? Because it is so hot here that if I don't use a liquid liner, my liner is going to be all over the place. So we're going to do our double line thing. So I'm going to follow my lower lash line. And I'm really getting into the roots of the lashes. I'm also giving myself a chance to figure out the pressure that I need because this is a well-loved STILA product. I've had it for a while, which means that it's almost time to be replaced. And if you've ever had STILA before, or really any liquid liner, you know that at the end of its life it acts differently than it did when you first got it. So again, just little dashes around the eye. It's always a good idea to just do little dashes. Otherwise, you're going to end up pulling your eye, and that's not good for anybody. Okay, same thing here. Figuring out the pressure that I need. Just doing a little kitten wing and then connecting that back. And that makes a lot of sense with how we've placed our eyeshadow too. If it is not steamy hot where you are, then feel free to go in with an eyeshadow, a gel, skip this extra step. For me, I'm just finding that I need that longevity of the liquid liner. And you can tell that I didn't even finish the line. I didn't bring it all the way in. And that's okay because we are going to go in with chocolate shimmer and just soften that a little bit. You can do the same thing with powder. It'll give you a different effect. But I just want to make sure that everything's going to stay in place. And you can see that with the gel, it just softens the black a little bit. It doesn't make it quite so graphic, which by itself is a really, really fun look, but that's not the look I'm going for today. I want to be defined but soft. Dipping back in. And then going all the way to that inner corner. So this is a nice kind of bright, wide-eyed, smokier eye, sort of. I feel like smoky, like everybody says smoky eye. We're doing a smoky eye today. It's not really a smoky eye. It's like sort of a smoky eye. It doesn't matter. It's fine. The beauty community is awesome. And it's okay if the words kind of get a little bit muddled. It was funny though, working at Sephora, and people would come in and ask for a smoky eye, and it was always like, we need to clarify what kind of a smoky eye are you talking about? Are you talking about what I'm wearing today? Or are you talking about like full on smoke? Because as you know, as a makeup tutorial watcher, there are various degrees of smokiness out there. And even a full-on smoke can be quite interpreted in quite a different way. So if you are ever getting your makeup done, it is very, very important that you and your makeup artist have a conversation before makeup starts going on the face as to what you mean, that you guys are using the same language, the same vocabulary. Because I've definitely been in situations where someone asked for something, I clarified with them, and then they were like, that's not what I meant. And that's okay. It's just makeup. Anyways, all right, so now we have everything done. Everything's looking really good. We just have to finish off with the lip. Kitten Mischief, because I'm going for coffee. And I don't want to do a bold lip that's just going to hang out on the rim of the coffee thing. And then I'm going to go in with Petal, which is like Muse and Songbird mixed together. It's a lighter rosy color with a little bit of brown. And that is the finished look. Thank you guys so much for watching this tutorial. I do fashion videos every Wednesday, makeup videos every Friday, and shorts kind of scattered out throughout the week, explaining things a little bit more in depth, or me just dancing and having a good time. So hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe, and I'll see you very soon. Bye!